I realized late tonight that I didn't respond to Barbara properly and leaning and so forth with working with the pelvis. I'm going to need you to put your knees up and really scoot down. So when you're working, right, with someone's pelvis, you're going to come underneath, obviously, and do the water bowl. And that seems simple enough because usually they're balanced through the foot and so forth. However, a lot of us are working with cerebral palsy or children that don't have the developmental movements that have gone into this patterning. So this is where a nice thing is. Now he's a little bit tall for me, but it's no big shakes. I come in under the knee and I can do a hanging technique, right? And then I can come in and really work. And this is where too, where just like the hanging technique when we did work with the pelvis and so forth, that I'm scooping up underneath the hip joint or the trochanter, and then allowing that, as I'm holding the hanging technique, allowing that to come down into the floor. Right? You can do it from several different positions. I'm sorry, I know you won't be able to see this super well, but it is what it is. I can get in there to the trochanter. I can do a midline into the trochanter. There's lots that I can do there. And again, just bringing down on that trochanter. And really play with that hanging technique. What I'm doing here is no different than we did the elbow to the hand, the elbow to the shoulder, etc. in a lying position, or you can do an upwards position. But when you have a child with structural differences in the femur, right? The problem is the femur now wants to go straight because it's the femur head that allows all this great midline crossing. Not only that, but for walking and so forth. So when there's structural issues, right, we want to, again, hanging technique, we want to act as if the head is in there, and especially that midline and getting into the hip. Now, for a smaller child, which my child's a bit larger than this, you would take your thumb and go into, you can do a pubic bone area. So I'm just scooped, like see if I'm here under the leg, my finger's gonna go right into the middle, right above the sexes, and then again, torque out that pelvis. That's another way of doing it. Obviously for an adult grown male, I'm not gonna do that. And there's different ways of changing my hand position. I can even do pizza hand where I'm alternating with the leg. His legs again are a bit long for me to show it a really nice hanging technique, but these are just some things that you can do to work with the pelvis in regards to the water bowl. And yes, Barbara, kids play. Remember, there's no bad movement. So when the legs are going up like that, the reason I ask for hip x-rays, I get a bit concerned when I see, again, when you have lack of crawl, right? The knees want to go over, same, and they get to a point where they fall. When there's been crawling, then you'll see the asymmetrical knees and go forth, and that gives a wider pelvis, right? But without the fall as much. But when they go up and over, same. So I always have concerns or want to rule out the fact that the femur head is gone and that torque is gone versus or subluxation, where the body needs to keep the legs together, but at the same time, that limits the movements for the pelvis.